Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Look a Turtle, and I want to talk about the Pokemon Unite release, more from a perspective that I haven't really seen anybody talk about on YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, whatever you want to say. But I know a lot of people are kind of speculating their thoughts on when we think it's going to be released, and yeah, I want to talk about it from a marketing perspective. Now, I don't work for Pokemon, or I don't work for anything associated with Pokemon. I don't even work in the video game industry, but I do work in marketing. So I just want to bring that experience to the table and kind of analyze, as a marketing professional myself, what the Pokemon Unite release would look like. So Pokemon Go, their 5-year anniversary event, it's going to be a $5 event. It's going to be a Saturday Sunday thing, and within that, it's like from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. local time. And on Sunday at 6 p.m., I think there's a really strong chance that we could be getting more information about when the release date is for Pokemon Unite. Now, the reason I think that is because it makes sense that everyone's going to be kind of like, Pokemon fans are going to be focused on Pokemon at that time. They're going to be thinking about Pokemon, talking about it on social media, kind of getting Pokemon trending at that time from the event. And then, boom, all of a sudden we have more solid information about Pokemon Unite. So, just something to think about as that kind of takes place. And the reason why I think this is going to be the case is that Pokemon Go has really kind of had a huge comeback since its initial launch. I'm sure some of you play it, some of you may have kind of like forgotten about it, but this past year they had 166 million users, and they did 1.23 billion dollars in revenue. That's huge. That's like some of the biggest numbers they've had since their initial year. So they're definitely growing year over year since their initial launch. We also have to keep in mind these two companies are separate, but they share one thing in common, is that they pay royalties to the Pokemon company. So while cross promotion for Pokemon Unite during the Pokemon Go event is probably not going to be happening, the Pokemon company wants to make sure that Pokemon Go fans can be as engaged as possible while that's happening, so they can maximize their profits during that event. And then once it's over, they want to take that attention and throw it to Pokemon Unite. And I really think that's what's going to be happening, since they're already going to be engaged. So just also some things to remember that, or just kind of to dive deeper into the reasoning and the rationale behind this is, so if 30% of all of those Pokemon Go users from last year do the $5 anniversary event, that means that the Pokemon Go 5th year anniversary revenue is going to be $249 million. And if that Pokemon royalty is 35%, and I'm basing this off of the Pop Socket Pokemon, or the Pokemon Pop Sockets, they usually go for 15, and the normal Pop Sockets are usually around 10. So that means that the Pokemon company is going to be getting $87 million of that $249 million. So with that being said, Pokemon Unite is going to be free to start. There's really no way for the company and the Pokemon company to tell how willing users are going to be to upgrade, do the battle pass, or pay for gyms, etc., etc. But if they can build enough hype around the fact that there's going to be this new game on the Nintendo Switch and mobile eventually, and kind of build a grassroots campaigns, I think fans will be more willing to go ahead and just put money into it from day one, or even just a few days after a few games, or at least just give it a shot. Just get people in there trying out the game. So, because at the end of the day, we have to remember the Go fans and Unite fans they're both Pokemon fans. There's a lot of overlap. So it just makes sense to not squeeze the Pokemon audience too thin, so that there isn't too much overlap, while we're kind of like dividing attention and there's too much like Pokemon information happening at once. Let's also not forget that the Switch release is kind of a beta in its own way. So there's going to be a little bit of an upward trend and information about what Unite is and how popular it's going to be and how much people are going to be willing to play it as it gets released. That's why the mobile release is coming at a later date, so that they can kind of like, dot their T's, cross their I's, kind of make sure that the systems are working well, and also get a grassroots marketing campaign at the same time, because we can already know that there's a huge community that are really excited to play this game. And they, the Pokemon company wants to get as close to numbers as possible as they got to with the Pokemon Go release, because it was so successful, and they want to see that again. It also makes sense, that they would kind of want to do it a little bit like staggered after the Pokemon Go fifth year anniversary, because we don't want to have two anniversaries happening so close back to back every year. You know, if there's like a week or two or a half a week or whatever, kind of in between those two events, the Pokemon Company can kind of make sure that they're looking at their revenue propensity models correctly and being able to, you know, predict what's going to happen next year and plan better for the future. Um, so let's look at the timeline for Pokemon overall. So we know that the Pokemon Go event is coming up on July 17th and 18th worldwide. It's mostly on mobile, but some could argue that Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu kind of, you know, correlate with that. But the revenue processing is mostly through Google Play and the App Store. So you have to keep that in mind as well. It's not just money going to these developers. It's not just money going to Nintendo or the Pokemon Company. There's a system that has to process that money. And for Pokemon Go, for this event, it's going to be mostly Google Play and the App Store. Now with Pokemon Unite, that's going to be somewhere between the 19th and the 31st, I'm going to guess, worldwide on the Switch. And the revenue processing is Nintendo. So there's definitely a little bit more leeway with how much money goes to Nintendo on the finance side department, you could say, versus how much goes to Pokemon and things like that, because Pokemon is owned by Nintendo. And then you have Pokemon Unite Part 2, which is going to be the mobile version, and the revenue processing there is going to be just the only difference is the Google Play and the App Store processing, which most of that, you know, not most of it, but some of that goes to Google and some of that goes to Apple. And then you have Shining and Brilliant coming up November 19th, which is going to be, you know, a big release. You know, some people are going to play it, others won't, but it's definitely going to bring a lot of, you know, hype around Pokemon again around that November point, which is not too far away from September if you really think about it. And that revenue processing is going to be in Nintendo. And then we have the main event, which is Arceus, and, you know, that's going to be a huge event. And so they're just trying to build a lot of momentum up to Arceus, which is going to be a worldwide thing. The revenue process is going to be in Nintendo. We all know, we're all excited for that game. It's going to be amazing. It looks awesome. So with that being said, that kind of gives a little bit more of like the marketing perspective into what Pokemon is kind of doing this next year, and why I think that Unite is going to be a little bit more towards the end of July. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comments, like, share, subscribe, stay tuned. Hopefully I'm going to be uploading some Pokemon Unite guides, tips and tricks, some funny moments if that ever happens, who knows. Just kind of rolling with the punches here. So yeah, thanks for watching.